Hi guys, Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, today I'm coming at you with making these like little corset tags. And oh, I forgot the lady's name. I will put the lady's name below where I saw these at. And then she got it from somebody else. So, and I think they've been made, they've been being made for a long time, for years, I guess. And I have seen these like a long time ago, and I always wanted to make them. But the lady that I saw her video, I will link it below. And then I've done a few things differently as we do. Okay. Okay. So let me just show you the first one. This is a smaller one. Isn't it so cute? And this is made out of my printables. My printables that are called She's So Vintage. And we'll talk about my printables, and if you're interested in my printables, at the end, okay? And then this is also using my printables on the back. Isn't this so cute? Now, on this one, I didn't print it double-sided. I just went ahead and used, you can see it, I used music note paper and glued it inside of here, so it's double-sided. So you either want to choose paper that is double-sided, or just glue in something for the inside, okay? Like glue in whatever paper you want for the inside. Also, let me show you another thing that's important. Here's another one of my printables, okay? Now, I make printables so that they're horizontal, so you can just fold them into signatures for that type of journal, junk journal. And then I also make them vertically, so you can do the tall, skinny journals. And you can use both in one journal, but I'm just saying. So, but if you decide to use a print, something like this, you want it so that it's horizontal, okay? And then you might want to double print it on the other side. See how I double printed on both sides? It could be the same thing or something different. But the reason you want it horizontal is because you're going to fold in like this. Okay, see what I'm saying? So if you have something that's printed vertically, it's going to be all messed up. Also, or you can choose something, you can choose paper that it doesn't matter which way you go with it, okay, with the print. Choose something like that. Or today, when I make this, I chose some coffee dyed paper. I'm going to use this today, okay, instead of my printables. But if you want to get my printables, you can get the ones that are printed landscape or horizontally, okay, so that when we do this, everything is sitting right, okay? All right. Or go in your stash, find something that's printed horizontally like that, or do something that it doesn't matter which way you go with it, okay, that type of design. Or you can get a plain, or you can use a plain sheet of paper and then decorate it, or I'm going to use this coffee dyed paper. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is a piece of coffee dyed paper, but you see how it gets wrinkly? This is on paper. Oh, and you want this on cardstock. No matter what you do, use cardstock, okay? This is some paper that I coffee dyed. And even if it was coffee dyed cardstock, it's wrinkly, okay? And so it's not going to be as smooth. And with this whole thing, I want it pretty smooth. So what I did is I copied my coffee dyed paper onto a piece of white cardstock. And I did it on both sides, okay? So these are just different options you have for doing all of this, okay? All right, and then this is the second one. Again, I used my printables. She's So Vintage. I love these corsets. I'm going to be making a ton of these. I think they're fabulous. Oh, and now this one, we're going to decorate this one heavily with wedding appliques. But I just did trims on the outsides because I loved the paper and I wanted to celebrate the paper. So that's why I just trimmed it with trims on the outside. I didn't put any lace or wedding appliques or anything like. On this one, we're going to put wedding appliques and we're going to do trims, okay, on today's. But this is also my, and this is what the other side looks like of my printables, okay? This is the size we're going to make today. If you want to make this size, what you want to do is you want to take a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, cut it in half, and then that's how you can make this size, okay? And this is, look at the difference of the sizes. Okay, now, if you want to make this size, you need to take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and take 1 inch off the top and 1 inch off the side. And okay, and the reason I'm doing that is because I have a junk journal. I made my junk journal so that it fits when you take a piece of your printable or whatever you're using and you fold it in half, a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in half, it makes a signature, right? So I want this to be a little bit smaller than the signatures that I have in. My signatures are this size, okay? But I want it to be a little smaller because I want to fit this into pockets, into front pockets, side pockets, and it'll just fit into the journal a lot better. So you can make these any size you want, but I'm letting you know why I'm making them the size I'm doing it. So I'm going to first take 1 inch off of here. Let's take an inch off. You want to take it off the width and off the length. If your junk journal is that size, the size of a folded 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I took it an inch off of here. I'm saving these because I'm putting like little quotes on these and making these into tags. Cool, huh? All right, and then I want to take an inch off of the width. So an inch off the width, an inch off the length, and then it'll fit into your junk journal well. Okay. Okay, so what we're doing, it doesn't matter which side we're on. The first thing you want to do is you want to fold these in to meet each other and leave a little bit of space. And what you're looking for is the center here to look even as you can. We're just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be in the realm. And when you see it, fold it down like this. Okay. And I would definitely use cardstock because I feel like you need I think you need the thickness of cardstock paper for this. Okay, so that's what you have there. See how what you're doing? You want to leave a little space in there. Okay, and when you fold it together, just make sure that little space in there looks even. And when you feel like it looks even enough, then that's when you go with it. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to open this up. You want to just take it and fold it in half, but not seal it. Don't seal it. Just fold it in half and leave this like this because you're going to find out why. Now you want to take your scissors. You can even, just to hold this a little bit, let me get a couple of paper clips out. Just so that you can hold this while you do it. Just put a paper clip here and here. Remember, do not fold this down. You want to keep that like that. All right, so then you're just going to take this about right here and you're going to round that off like that. Okay. Now, I'll tell you why. So when you go in, it looks like that. So that's it, gives it that bustier look. Isn't that fabulous? I love it. Okay. All right. So the next thing you want to do is we want to do our inking right now. And how do I know? Because I forgot to ink and I had to do it afterwards. After I put laces and everything on it. I'm using a Distress Archival ink, Vintage Photo. When I do my inking, I like to use an archival ink instead of the Tim Holtz Distress inks because those take a little bit to get dry and you're getting ink. You can get ink all over your hands. So, but if that's what you have, use that. It doesn't matter. And you can use any brand to do your inking. But I'm just letting you know why I like to use the archival. It dries right away and I don't have ink everywhere. It's not getting all over my hands. So I'm just going along the edges, and I really advise on this project to ink because it really will finish off your, it'll finish off the edges and just make it look really sharp. because that's, I had forgot to ink it, and I did it afterwards when I had like the laces and everything on here. And I was like, why does this not look complete? And I'm like, oh, you didn't ink the edges, you big dummy. And then once I did that, it all just came together so much nicer. So ink the edges on both sides. Oh, I gotta change out my little dauber pad here. It's starting to degrade. So I'm getting a bunch of little crumbs. Okay, so our inking is all done. So that's the next step. Okay. Next step after that. So now, see how much nicer that looks? This looks more finished off. I love it. Okay, the next thing is we're going to do is we want to do the same thing again. Put these two sides together again, same way as we did last time. Because the reason you want to do this is where we're going to put our holes in. We're going to lace up our corset, right? But we want the holes to be the same on both sides. So this is how this is going to work. Again, do not crease that. This is just to line up our holes. So, and I'm not going to make, just eyeball it and that'll be good enough, okay? So don't go on the curve, go below the curve when you start. Because if you go on the curve, well, you're running into like, this is like, represents the bust. So go under it a little bit and over. So I'm going to put a hole there, a hole there, a hole there. So you're just marking with a pencil where your holes are going. Okay, so that's what I've marked. Real quick and easy. Now I'm going to use two different things to do this. Now when she punched it, she used her crocodile. I have a crocodile, but it is so big. It's this big one that I don't know if I want to make, I don't want to make my hole that big, but you could use your crocodile. I think she used her crocodile and used the smaller hole, but this is working out better for me. So this is what I'm doing. I'm getting my awl out. If you're looking for an awl, I got mine at Hobby Lobby recently, $2.99 in the leather section, okay? I need to buy myself another one just so I have two in case I lose this one, because $2.99, that's a good place. And I remember I couldn't find, like, where do you find an awl at? So I looked it up finally on Hobby Lobby, and it said it was, and I put awl in, AWL, and it was in the leather section. I just went, oh, because I was always looking in the craft section. I couldn't find an awl. So I'm going to make my original holes with this awl. Okay, but then I got this from Dollar Tree. And see this part right here? See, this is thicker than here. I want the hole to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go back to the holes with this and go all the way into it with that, just to make the hole a little bit bigger. But this, I'm able to make the hole easier just at the beginning. Okay? And try not to stab yourself, because it probably won't feel good. Sure you guys can see me. Now you can probably use the crocodile like I just showed you if you're going to put like some ribbon in there. I'm going to use some cotton yarn. This from you can get this at you can get this anywhere, but you can get it at Dollar Tree for a really good price. So I'm using this. So this holes are perfect, but if you're going to use some type of like sari silk or something like that, you probably want to put that other hole size in with your crocodile. Something like that. I wouldn't use a hole punch because that's going to make your holes way too big. Like a regular hole punch, that's going to make them too big. Like the one you use on a tag, So now I'm going back through it. Like this. And this makes the holes just a little bit bigger where I need them at. Get this from Dollar Tree. This is the bomb. Now, if this is what you have, you can make the original holes with it. You just have to kind of press a little harder. I kind of like, for this project, I kind of like this one better for the initial hole, but you can do the whole thing with just this one. And this is only $1.25. But at $2.99, I mean, that's a great deal. And then I'm just turned it over and just going back through the holes one more time, just to really make sure on both sides that we got good even holes. Okay, so now we're done with that. I like to keep this little red thing on this awl so I have a less chance of poking myself. Okay, so now take those paper clips off and get this all straightened back out again, because see how it wants to lift up just a little bit? Just kind of bend it back a little bit and use your bone folder, or if you don't have that, you can use the back of a spoon. I've never actually used the back of a spoon, but they say you can use it. You know, I actually have a spoon here. Hopefully it has nothing on it. Yeah, I was just drinking a cup of coffee and they said the back of it, oh, it does work well. This part of it you use. That works out really good, the back of a spoon. Huh. That's cool. I never had a spoon near me to try it. But the part of the spoon you use is just this part here. And it works just as good as this. Fabulous. Okay. So, just see something. That's the hole that I want to make it just look a little bit. There we go. Just want all these holes to make sure they're as big as they can be. Let me just go through them one more time. There we go. You just want to get that full size of the hole because it's just going to be easier when we go through and we start lacing this up. Okay, so there we go. That looks good. So the next thing is going to be lacing this up. We're going to lace this up and then we're going to decorate it, okay? The other thing is you could put a list pad in here, and I was thinking about putting a list pad. You know, just let me just look at this big, huge, what do you call these? You guys know what they're called. Chunky charms. Is that a chunky charm? That is ridiculous. I need to split it in half and make 2 or 3 chunky charms out of it. I wanted a big chunky charm, but I went ballistic. Okay. I know people are going to be like, how long did that take you to make? Forever. All right, just a second. I just want to test out. Let me just use some book pages real quick. I just want to test out if we were going to put a list pad in here. Let's just check it out real quick. What is the width of this inside of here? I want to see how it will lay if we put the list pad in it. You could put a list pad in it, you could put a pocket in it and put a couple tags, or you can put nothing. The other ones I put nothing. Okay, so we're at 4 3/4, so that this lays really nice. Maybe just 4 inches wide is what we need for the list pad. And I'm just going to make, right now I'm going to make the list pad out of book pages. Let's move my big chunky charm out of the way. My oversized chunky charm. It's ridiculous. Right now I'm just cutting off the excess. Hopefully this will be about 4 inches when I'm done. And we don't want the list pad to be too thick. All right, what is this measuring? Oh, perfect. 4 inches. Can Can you believe I did that just by cutting off those edges? I did 4 inches. That's crazy. Okay. Let's just add another. If you don't have one of these paper slicers, definitely I would get one. If you're going to be doing stuff like this, just crafting, period. The paper slicer will save you so much time and aggravation. Your stuff will come out looking just even nicer, and you'll be so much, it'll speed you up so much faster. Not that you want to speed through your crafts, but you know, you're excited. You want to do the crafting. So your tools, just like anybody else, your tools are, I think, important. Okay. All right, so we got those. And you know what else I want to do on top of here, because I have it, is some script. I know it looks weird. It looks, I have it all trimmed out, like all ripped, because I was doing another project with it, so. Yeah, I want this to be on the, to be my first page, the script. Okay. I don't know what the length is of this, so I'll have to trim that up to know what the length is in a second. Let me just get all my papers trimmed up. Since we're going through all this, I am going to put the list pad in there. Okay. See all this trimming I'm doing? You'd be doing that, all this trimming by hand. So much easier to do the trimming with, make sure this fits in here good. Oh yeah, easily. All right, let's put that in here. Paper clip it, just so that we can just take off the bottom. And I'm just gonna cut this on the bottom. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Make sure this is all even. Yes. And I'm just going to cut this at the bottom. And you know what? Save this, because this would make a perfect little mini book. You take this, I need to stay focused. You go like this, and this makes a little mini book. And then you can take a piece of like coffee dyed cardstock is what I like to do, and put it on top of it. And I like to put, there we go. And you can make these little mini books. Fabulous. I have, you can look this up on my channel. Look in my playlist where it says junk journaling or mixed media. It's in there. Or just do a search on my page and say little mini books. So I'll finish that up and make that. And then you can put a hole in the corner and make them into charms. Fabulous. Okay, so we have this here. Oh yeah, this is gonna fold in here just nice. Okay, let me show you one other thing. Boy, I can make a mountain out of a molehill. Okay, you can make these right here by going on a scoreboard with a piece of cardstock. This is a coffee dye piece of cardstock, and scoring every 2 inches. Okay, I mean scoring every inch. 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch. Then every 2 lines, then cut, and then you can make this. Or just cut out a strip that's 2 inches, fold it in half. So here's your 2 inch strip, fold it in half. Bam. But if you have a scoreboard, every inch, score an inch. Then every 2 lines, cut it, and then you'll end up with a strip like this. Fold it in half. If it's scored, it'll be so easy. Otherwise, you have to fold it in half yourself. Okay? And that's how you can make these flaps. Because then that can be your topper. These also can be used inside of envelopes to make the envelopes have more room in them, so they have a gusset. So there's so many things to do with these. So learn how to make these. It's very simple, as I just stated. I usually give an example of how to make those, but I've done it a lot on my channel, so most of you guys have seen it. So, and just for the sake of time. And I happen to have a bunch of small ones over here. Whenever I get done cutting them, I save them, because you can make small list pads out of those. So save your little ones that are left over. And I love this coffee stained one. It goes right with the coffee stain look that I'm going for. And then we're going to use our stapler. I'm going to put 3 holes. There we go. Bam! Look at that. Look how nice that looks, that list pad. And that's going to go right here in the center, and we'll hot glue this in. And we may have to trim off the bottom again. Yeah, let's hot glue this in. And then at the top, you can put any trim on it that you want. We're going to put a piece of lace or something on the top of here. You could put like a little quote. A lot of times I've done quotes, but we're going to, of course, put a trim on it this time. Of some sort. Center this the best you can. And we're still a tad bit long out of the bottom, so I'll just trim it off now. There we go. So now make sure it's all trimmed off. Look how nice that looks. And yeah, it still lays nicely in here. You could also put a pocket right here, okay? You could actually do both. You could put a pocket here, put tags in here, and then put this down. Okay, it could get a little full doing all that, but you could put a pocket here and put a few tags in here. But I think it looks really nice with this. So we're gonna put a piece of trim or like an applique of some sort. We're gonna do something. Let's do a piece of trim. Where are my trims? Okay, just a second, guys. My trims are behind me. I just got done doing another Hobby Lobby clearance haul. Oh my gosh, I am out of control with the Hobby Lobby clearance. I go back because I went back last time because I noticed something about this one purple glitter for shakers that I liked. So I went back, found more stuff. Or I'll watch someone's video and I'll buy more stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have got to calm down with that Hobby Lobby clearance. That's going to be gorgeous right there. So that's what we're going to use. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. Isn't this gorgeous? And I think I avocado dyed this, or no, I didn't avocado dye this. I used like a RIT dye in like a mauve rosy pink. It wasn't RIT. It was a different, it was another brand. I can't remember the name of the brand, but it's like a RIT dye. Yes, I got it at the Hobby Lobby clearance like everything else. For 88 cents. It was a great deal. They had like 3 of them. I'm like, I will be purchasing all of them. I couldn't believe they had it in that beautiful, soft pink color. I was like, oh my God, this is my colors. And it's only like 80 cents a pack. It was perfect. A very antique-y, soft pink color. Love it. Save these. We do stuff with those, of course. Oh, that's pretty. And that lays down nicely like that. I would love to put another trim there. Let me just see. Something really flat. It's kind of too white for everything. Let me just see. Yeah, that's too white. Okay, just a second. Let me just look what I'm doing. I want more of a tea dye color. too. Oh, I love this, or the gold. Okay, let me just see. Let's just play for a second. And then I have this pink. And we're not using pink today, so... Oh, I have this. This is going to be perfect. Okay, I found it. I found it because this will lay flatter. Let me see if I have one that's opened. I should have one that's opened. If you guys could see the little basket of laces that I have going on here, you'd be like, oh God, girl. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So I have this. Isn't this pretty? Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah. And this will lay flat. All right. This is cool. I'm doing this on the fly because I didn't do this to my other two. I didn't put anything inside. But I thought, you know what? Let's fly by the seat of our pants and just do it in the video. Of course, save that little bit. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Very nice. And still lays flat when we're going to do our thing. Okay, so the next step is take your cotton yarn. And like I said, they have cotton at Dollar Tree. Or if you're a knitter or crocheter, you probably have tons of cotton. But when you go there, I would pick up one of each color because I also use this to bind my I also use this to bind my my junk journals. Okay, so I like to start at the bottom because you want to end up at the top. You want to end up at the top so you can tie a bow. Otherwise, if you start at the bottom, you're going to end up tying your bow at the bottom. If you want your bow at the bottom, go ahead. I dare you. Okay, so keep your a pokey tool of some sort around this, or I have another one just in case you can't get this through the hole. You can use it to stab it through. I have another pokey tool that I like. Here it is. There's another pokey tool. I got this from Hobby Lobby too in the jewelry section. Okay, and then poke the hole. Oh, and something else that'll help you, just like with thread, cut it at an angle, and it makes it just and then I use my DNA. I mean, unless you're making it for somebody, you might want to dip it in a little water, just like thread, so you can get it nice and pointed. Okay, and then you want to pull this through, and you want to pull it through evenly. You're going to tie it just like you tie shoes. Okay. So just a second, guys. I made this way too long, but that's fine. Okay, so you want to tie it just like you do shoes. All right, so we got that. Okay, so then you want to take one or the other. I'm going to take this one and go diagonally. And if your cotton starts splitting, just cut it. Some cotton splits a little more than other cottons do. The one from Dollar Tree kind of splits a lot. Now take your second one from here and then go into the next hole and go diagonally. It's just like how you do shoes. I'm going to do this halfway up, and then I'm going to pause the camera, finish it up, and then bring it back on, and we'll decorate. Just so you don't have to watch me do this, because it's the same thing over and over, but I want to show you a couple of times before I pause the camera or my phone. Take this one again, Go diagonally. And this one started splitting. The end started splitting. So when it starts splitting like that, just cut that split end off. Like if you buy some of the more, they're not expensive, but a little bit more expensive of cotton, it won't be so splitty on you. Like if you use Peaches and Cream or something like that, they wind it a little tighter. And it's fine for binding books. It's not going to split when you're binding. But just when you're doing this, sometimes it can get splitty. But I just told you how to handle it, so. What I like, it's for $1.25. I can buy whatever colors I need and want. From this and for my junk, for binding my books. Okay, so now you see how you do it. Now you take this one and you go through this hole, and you take this one and you go through this hole, and you just keep going diagonally all the way up. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause this, continue this whole thing, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, I do want to say something. If you go to a hole and the hole's still a little bit small, just take your little tool that I get from Dollar Tree in the crafting section and just go back through it and play with that hole a little bit, just to widen it just a tad bit, just so you don't suffer trying to string it up. Okay, so now we got all the way to the top, and we're just going to tie. So you guys remember, it's just like how you do shoes. Start at the bottom though, so you can end up at the top with your tie. Okay. And just play with your bow a little bit. Play with your bow. Okay. Okay, there we go. And I'm letting the bow it wants to be diagonal, so I'm going to let the bow be a diagonal. It's fine with me. And then I like my strings to always be a little longer than the item itself. And there we go. Look how pretty that looks. Doesn't it look pretty just like that? Okay. Now on the back, I don't put any trims or anything on the back. You can use anything on the back if you want to put anything decorative on the back. That would be cool. But you may glue this in. You may put this into a pocket, like a side pocket, or you may put it in a regular pocket. So that's why I'm not going to put trims on the back, so this can lay flat no matter what I do. Okay, but it's up to you. Now I want to take and put some, I love how, see how this is coffee dyed, the color of the coffee. I love a white wedding applique on coffee dyed paper. I did some envelopes like that and it came out gorgeous. And it was a really popular video. Okay, so I have this wedding applique here. Isn't this beautiful? So let's chop this up a little bit to fit. You just chop these little strings. They're all connected by little strings, and you just trim the little strings, and then you don't ruin the rest of your wedding applique. Where do you get wedding appliques? You can get them at flea markets. That's where I got a bunch. I was at a flea market in California with my friend Olivia Hernandez. Hey Olivia! But also if you buy wedding dresses, that's the best place you can get them, because you can buy a whole wedding dress and then just cut all the wedding appliques off of there. That's some of the cheapest ways you can do it. Or if you see a dress at a thrift store. So if you see a wedding dress at a thrift store, if you see just a dress at a thrift store and it has appliques on it of any sort, get it for sure. Okay, so look how pretty that is. That's going to be gorgeous on here. Let me make sure I want it to go that way. Yeah, that's the way I want it to go. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's just glue this on right now. And when you glue things on like this, you don't have to put tons of glue everywhere. Now, I'm not going to worry because I'm not going to be opening, I just laced all that. I'm not going to be opening that up to use the list pad. It's just for looks. It's really not to use because you just laced all that up. It's not like you want to lace that up again. At least I don't. You can do you, boo. If you want to use that list pad and keep lacing it up, you can. But, and some people are going to be like, why put the lace pad in there then? I don't know. We're junk journalers. We do all kinds of crazy things. I don't know. Okay, hot glue right there. I just had some hot glue almost seep into the rest of that. So for some of you, you'll be like, girl, that doesn't even make sense to put that list pad in there. Then don't do it. But it gives me gives me some type of gratification to know that list pad's in there, and I can just see it on the edge, and I can see it like inside of here too. And some people are like, well, you could just put the one page in there. Yeah, I could have. All right, I've never said I'm trying to make sense, okay? All right, my bow's getting destroyed. Oh, actually, my bow's better now. Okay. All right, so let's cut another one off of this wedding applique. Now, let's suppose you don't have any wedding appliques. You could use whatever you have, okay? You can use lace. You can just use whatever you have to decorate. But I love the idea of using these wedding appliques. Okay. I'm looking to see how I'm gonna cut this one down. Okay. Sorry if I'm off camera. Just trying to see what I'm doing. What am I doing? Lord only knows. I'm just cutting this wedding applique down just to... All right. Because it needs to be trimmed down to fit on here. Okay. That other one just, when I trimmed it down, it just fit perfect. All right, let's look at this one. Okay, I got this piece. This is gonna work. Let's trim these two things off the end. Okay. So you can just keep trimming things up till you get them to fit. So that's gonna fit there. Perfect. And then let's see about another one. Let's trim this one up. And trim this here. All right, let's try this. Sorry, I'm getting quiet on you guys. I'm just trying to trim this to fit. It's like the old shrink to fit Levi's. Ooh, I just aged myself. But it's shrink to fit wedding appliques. There we go. That looks good. Let me see if I want to go this way. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so we got this to fit on here. Let's let's attach it on. I always feel a lot more confidence once I get at least one little bit attached, because then I know it's not going anywhere. Make sure that you go under your bow. There we go. And then if you decide to go with paper that you really love the print, then like I did my other one, just put trims around the edge and don't worry about adding any wetting appliques. I'm just doing it like this because I love the coffee dyed paper with the white of the wetting appliques, so that's why I do it like this. And then, ooh, these glue strings drive me out of my mind. Okay, let me get some glue strings. Let me grab some of these glue strings that are driving me nuts. Okay. All right. Let's see, did I have this? Yeah, this is how I want it. They're so beautiful on both sides. Sometimes it's hard to tell, like, what's the wrong side and what's the right side. There we go. And when you're gluing on appliques, you don't have to put glue everywhere. You can just dot it and just put it so it just tacks it down. In fact, a lot of times it works out better if you don't, like every little area has glue. If you just have enough glue just to tack it down, it usually works out nicer. Everything looks cleaner. Love this. Look how pretty that's looking. All right. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do some trims. So let me decide what trim I want to use. Oh, and of course we're going to save all of that. Now, the trim that you choose, okay, when I did my other ones, I chose trim that easily went like around corners like that. So you kind of want to choose trim that can go around the corners. Same thing with this one. You know, I think that trim is going to be what I'm going to use. That's going to be beautiful. I got this trim for $5.49. I got it for $1.37, regular $5.49 at Hobby Lobby. Great deal. When you use this one though, see how beautiful it is? If the end starts to unravel. So what I like to do is just take a little bit of hot glue, just the tiniest amount, and just put that on the end. Let it sit there for a second till it cools down, and then seal off the end. You can also probably do it with like that Fabri-Tac. There we go. You just need the smallest amount to do it, so. And it'll stop it from unraveling. Okay, so I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to go right around like that. Okay, and then just do it. I'm going to do just this one half, and then I'll go off camera and do the other half, just for the sake of the timing of the video. Hold that down. And I definitely would be using hot glue if I was you, because you need that when you're doing stuff like this. You really need instant adhesion. Again, just to stop that unraveling, just put a little bit of hot glue on the end, let it cool down. I need some more glue sticks. There we go. Okay. Then, do I want to go on top? No, we'll just match it. We'll butt it right up to it like that. Oh, glue stick. And because I live in Las Vegas, the glue dries really quick. So I'm just gonna do it in little sections. And then keep going down because the glue dries quickly here. Whether I'm using my glue stick or whether I'm using the hot glue. In the winter, it's not as bad, but right now, we're still at a high of 100 today and 100, I think 109. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But at night, it's finally cooling down at night. It's cooling down to like 85 at night, so I don't know why it has to still get to like 106. What did I say, 106? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If I could, I would move to San Luis Obispo, California. It's central California and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a beach town. Oh, we vacation there sometimes. I love it. Okay, cut that end off. But again, on both of these, set it with a little hot glue. Set this one with a little hot glue. And then once I let it cool off for just a second, then I just touch it. And I do it on the very end so that so you can't see it. And then trim off all this excess crap that's unraveled. All right. Ooh, I have glue strings everywhere. Okay. Grab some of those glue strings. Okay, now we want to do, oh, and I have this one over the card just a little bit, so I'm just going to cut it off. This is the applique. It went off a little bit, so we'll just trim it. Okay, so we have this little part here to do still. Just making sure I'm in frame. Aren't these fun? As soon as I seen that girl make these, I was like, yes, ma'am, I want to make that. And they take a little bit of time, not like major amount of time, but you know, they take a little bit of time. Takes a little less time if you don't put the list pad in. And if you don't have to do the wetting appliques because you like the paper that you're using, then just do the trim on the outside. What the heck is this? Oh, my string came. Oh, I ended up cutting my string. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Okay, I gotta figure that out now. I can't believe I cut the string. What the heck? How did I do that? I haven't done that on the rest of them. Okay, we gotta figure that. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue here. Just because I can't be opening all this up again. Heck no. So if you do what I did. Okay, so I glued that back across on top. So instead of going to the hole on this one, it's going across. And then this one right here is the other end of what I cut. So I'm just gonna hot glue that in here. And I'm definitely not gonna be able to open up mine if I wanted to. You guys already know I don't want to open it up anyway, but. So be careful that you don't cut your strings. Oh, I can't believe I did that. But You know, I don't mind when I mess up in a video like that, because then it shows you what to do if you do that. All right, let me just cut this string a little bit closer. Okay, and trim off this. Okay, so what happened was, see at the bottom right here, I cut that string. So anyway, I just glued it going across right there. Okay, nobody's gonna know. And it's gonna be in my junk journal, so nobody's gonna know. And then I'm just adding a little more hot glue to this end here, just to make sure it's good. Okay. All right, so this is what we got going on so far. That's wild. I can't believe I cut that string. Anyway, this is what we have going on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to finish putting the trim on this and this and this, and then I'll be back to show you the final product. All right, be right back. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I finished up the trim on the other side, and this is what we look like. Isn't this fabulous? You guys, I am completely obsessed. So beautiful. So beautiful. I love these. I'm going to make a whole bunch more because I think they're fabulous. Oh, I discovered how I ended up cutting my strings. When I trimmed right here, my trim, that's when I cut the string. So when you're doing that, just be careful not to cut your strings. And I would do the stringing before I would put on the appliques or the trims, because it'll just be easier. Then you'll know, because you might end up covering some of the holes a little bit. Your holes are just free open for you to put your stringing in, okay, to string your corset. So we have this one. Let me just bring this one up closer so you can make sure you guys can see it. We have that one. We have the pink one that I made in advance. And we've talked all about how to prepare your papers or not prepare your papers. And then we have this one. A smaller one. And I showed you about, you split the page in half. Any 8.5 by 11 regular sheet of cardstock, split that in half, and that's how you get this size. If you want this size, you just take an inch off of each side, off the width and off the length. Okay. I also want to show you really quickly, if you're interested in my printables, let me show you what my printables look like. My Etsy shop is called My Fairy Treasures. Every 5 printables, let me put these aside. Every 5 printables is $2. And there's a clickable link in the description box. Okay, when my junk journal, and I have a process video on how to do a junk journal out of a regular book and how to create an extended spine. So just look in my playlist under junk journal or mixed media. It's in both those playlists. But I printed this out on paper, not cardstock, just printer paper, and collaged the whole thing. Okay. So let me show you some of the papers in here really quickly. These are some notes I have for myself. Anyway, again, collaged it with all my printables. So this is a printable. That's a printable. And these all were printed. These were all created landscape or horizontally, so you can just fold them in half. And that's how I created them, so you can just fold them in half. This I made into a pocket right here. But this is a printable, and that's a printable. There's another printable. There's another printable. There's another printable. I'm just showing you a few of them so you get an idea of what my printables look like, what this looks like. And there's tags, and there's also really fancy envelopes in this set. This is my favorite one. I love this girl. And then I did make, I made 15 of them, are the ones horizontal, just to fold up into signatures. And if you want to fold signatures like tall and skinny signatures, I created 15 more that go that way. But you can take those and put them in this too, and just cut them down and have them be a little bit skinnier in this journal. Or you can take these, put them in the skinny journal, and then kind of fold them to make, you know, anyway. You can use all of it in both journals. But I know a lot of girls are into the tall skinny journals, printable. And so I wanted to be conscious of both. Again, another printable. And these printables are the ones, these are only half a printable because the other half is on the other side. There's another printable there. This is avocado dyed paper. Look, isn't that pretty? And it's like has a little bit of a pink hue to it. Pretty. Whenever you dye with avocado skins, like laces and stuff, you get all different shades of pink. It's really pretty. Printable. And we'll just go to the end of this signature. I'm not going to go into the second signature, of course. Here's another printable. This is, again, one of my other favorites. I love this girl right here. I think she's so gorgeous. There's another one. So that's why it's called She's So Vintage, because it's very vintage. And here's the last one here. Okay. Then this is a little mini journal, which I have a video on this. Look at my playlist. I only made this a few videos below this one. And isn't this cool? And this is like a bingo card thing I had on like coffee dyed. But anyway, isn't that pretty? And it's just filled with coffee dyed paper, just as a little mini journal within a journal. And I leave this much space in between my signatures to put stuff like this in, but also for expansion. So that's what I did there. Okay, so again, it's called My Fairy Treasures. It's my Etsy shop. Every 5 printables is $2. There's a clickable link below. We have a group called Our Magical Little Place. Please join the group. If you make these, definitely share them with us. But if you do anything else, if you junk journal, art journal, knit, crochet, it doesn't matter. Come join the group. Get inspired, be inspired, inspire others. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have an Etsy shop, you can leave links, okay? All right, that's it for this one. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can leave this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram. Join the group, Our Magical Little Place, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.